I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Francesca Maxime, and this is Currents. Foster children looking for a place to call home.
I felt really happy that I have a home, that they love me.
Meet a nun whose performances are packing theaters.
And bam! Lino Rulli is back in the kitchen.
This looks like one just big mess.
Well, good evening. There are more than 500,000 children in the foster care system. That's according to the latest data. That's nationwide.
That's right, and that is, of course, children of all ages. But one of the most troubling questions is, what do you do about older children who are really the hardest to place into forever homes?
And they also need a place to live, and one organization has actually come up with a little bit of a unique way to bring attention to those kids that aren't the babies.
That's right. You can actually see it right now at a mall in Brooklyn, and you might say it's something that gets right in your face. There are about 17,000 children in the foster care system in New York City, all looking for homes. Enter Heart Gallery NYC and Little Flower Children and Family Services of New York. The two organizations have teamed up to feature just some of those kids in need of forever homes. Professional New York photographers took these pictures of them, and now they're up for display at Kings Plaza Mall and Marine Park.
One of my goals is really to create permanent families for children. I want these families to exist throughout the child's life, into adulthood, into, when they get married. So I'm really looking to recruit forever families.
Children of all ages are up for adoption, from infants to teenagers, and the teenagers sometimes get overlooked.
The age range is what got me, because you have, older teenagers and then you have the younger kids as well. So it really, a lot of times people might not even think of older teenagers when they're looking to adopt children.
Exactly. I get so many requests for a baby, and people don't realize that there are children 5, 6, 10, 15 who need a family.
With that in mind, we wanted to find a group that helps connect prospective parents with older teens who are up for adoption. Our search led us to You Gotta Believe, headquartered on Coney Island. Now, first of all, tell me a little bit about your organization, You Gotta Believe, and what you do.
You Gotta Believe, I think we consider ourselves first and foremost a homelessness prevention program. Half the homeless population are made up of young people who are discharged from foster care, and we feel if we can get them families before they're discharged from foster care, we can go a long way in preventing more homeless people from being out there on the streets.
I wasn't looking to adopt a baby because I worked full-time, and it was pretty, strict 9 to 6 with no time off, and so I was looking for something that would fit into, just kind of fit into my rhythm.
Denise contacted the city, who then referred her to You Gotta Believe. That was 5 years ago, and it was then she found Christina, a 14-year-old in foster care. Christina had been through a lot in her life, moving from foster family to foster family.
I never felt so much love. I never felt so much love than since I worked before. I felt really happy that I have a home, that they love me and stuff, and they love Savannah.
Christina, who is now 19, has a child of her own named Savannah.
I'm so happy to have them both in my life. It's really about breaking cycles and making sure patterns don't repeat themselves. I'm absolutely dedicated to making sure that Savannah never has to experience what my daughter had to experience.
As for Pat O'Brien, who heads up You Gotta Believe,
You ever hear that expression, you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you do?
Yeah.
So I get an opportunity to enjoy what I do every day that I go to work. And the fact that I was able to found the organization and I'm now the executive of it, it just makes life just so wonderful that I can do something I truly believe in and get a full-time salary out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. As for Denise, she now works for You Gotta Believe and trains prospective parents on ways to deal with teens after the adoption becomes final.
I really encourage my parents that no matter what their faith is, that now is the time. You have to really rely on your faith. Whatever your particular denomination, whatever, work it. Times get difficult, times get tough, and that's when I really have to rely on and strengthen my foundation and go back every day and remind myself, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And you know, that's what I encourage my parents to do.
And right now, the Heart Gallery is bringing attention to the needs of other children and teens desperately in need of forever families.
Every day is a challenge, just dealing with a person's idea of what they want from a child, and to deal with the child's needs and what they're looking for. And it's a challenge just to make a match. But when you finally do find the right family for that child, it takes away, you know, all the challenges were very much worth it.
Well, the Heart Gallery exhibit at Kings Plaza Mall runs through August 25th, and definitely a great way to put a human face on those numbers that we were quoting earlier.
Well, there's a few things that are really nice about it. One, that these professional photographers donated their time to make this happen and really, like you say, showcase some of the older children that are you know, in foster care that would like to have permanent homes. But also, I think that artistically as well as personally, it shows the personality of the people. They took their professional good stuff and they really captured who that human is,
right.
And makes you want to get to know them a little bit more.
Right, and you can get to know them standing right there looking at, just at the picture. Get to know a little bit about them before you even know them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can find out more about the Heart Gallery right on our website. All you have to do is head over to netny.net/currents.
And stay tuned, there's much more currents coming up,
including President Obama pitching his health care plan to religious groups. The details of that and the rest of the day's headlines are all straight ahead.
And later, what Brooklynites do on their vacations.
I think I'm going to stay close to home to save some money. I think everybody's feeling the pinch.
Welcome back to Currents. I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Francesca Maxime. Coming up a little bit later on, what are you doing on your summer vacation? We'll take a look at that, but first, the day's headlines. More details are emerging about President Obama's conference call yesterday with religious groups about health care reform. The president described the need for coverage as a core ethical and moral obligation. During the conference, he accused opponents of bearing false witness by spreading misinformation. A White House director who also spoke said federal funds will not go toward abortion. Meanwhile, a coalition, though, of pro-life groups held a counter-conference call, and they say that the president's statements conflict with the proposed legislation. According to the National Right to Life Committee, the bill backed by the White House explicitly authorizes the government plan to cover all elective abortions. Well, ailing Massachusetts Senator Ted Kennedy has asked leaders in his state to actually go ahead and change the law there to allow a speedy replacement if he surrenders his seat. Now, that's because he wants his replacement to be able to vote on the health care bill. The prominent Catholic senator was diagnosed with cancer last year, but concern has been growing about his health. Kennedy did not even attend the recent White House ceremony to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He was also unable to attend the funeral of his sister, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, last week.
Well, music has always been a huge part of the Christian worship experience. Traditional hymns and songs are often part of the Holy Communion or Eucharist, but a church in Florida is the latest to hold a U2charist. It's a church service that incorporates music from the Irish rock band U2. The church's pastor says U2's music is deeply spiritual and he feels the corporate worship setting is the perfect place for it. Bono and U2 have said that any church can use their music in a worship setting free of charge, as long as offerings collected go toward ending global poverty. The U2charist began in the Episcopal Church in 2003 and is becoming more popular with other denominations. A nun and her guitar. Not as loud as U2, but certainly spiritual. And this sister's music is packing theaters, reaching an international audience. Our Natalia Ortiz recently caught up with Hermana Glinda at one of her recent rehearsals.
Si nada es imposible para ti, ¿por qué tengo miedo? Si nada es imposible para ti, nothing is impossible for you, nothing is impossible for God. Es correcto.
This singing nun may doubt whether we can understand her English. But when it comes to spreading the word of God, not even her thick Chilean accent can stop her from delivering the sound of music to Spanish-speaking audiences everywhere.
Creo que es el lenguaje universal más grande. Toca el corazón, toca la mente y yo creo que es el lenguaje más apto para hablar de Dios.
Hermana Glenda Hernández, as she's known to her Hispanic fans, was born in Parral, Chile 38 years ago, but she and her music have traveled the world accomplishing her mission, evangelization. She's got a PhD in psychology and is a theologian, a graduate of the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome, the most prestigious university of theology. Ironically, music is the one area she didn't prepare for.
Para mí es un misterio porque no sé cantar, o sea, no he estudiado canto, no sé música.
Her no-frills way of explaining Bible texts through music is what she's known for, making her an unlikely pop star.
For me, she's an inspiration. I've been using her songs during the Mass and liturgies and prayer services, and she is a good asset to the Catholic community.
About the only thing she has in common with most rock stars is a love for music and a fan base. But she's careful to point out they shouldn't actually be her fans, but fans of Christ. And though this singer-songwriter is also known for garnering laughs, she enables people to reflect upon their Catholic faith during trying times as well.
La gente escribe y cuenta cómo en un momento difícil se acuerda de una canción de la hermana Glenda y no se acuerda de una canción de la hermana Glenda, se acuerda de un texto bíblico que está detrás, y se acuerda de la palabra del Señor en un momento oportuno. Y a mí me da una alegría tremenda haber podido ayudar a alguien a que encuentre esa palabra. Para mí esa es mi droga, esa es mi felicidad.
And she's taking her happiness on the road, making stops around the U.S., including this one in the Bronx last week. Sister Glenda will also be performing in Miami, Los Angeles, and Chicago within the next month. But how did Catholic nuns start holding concert tours?
Para mí fue una sorpresa. Una monja que daba clase en un colegio, que era psicóloga, escuchando a la gente que sufre. De pronto la invitan a cantar a Toronto y ahí empieza todo.
She became an instant hit after she performed in Toronto at World Youth Day in 2002. It's no wonder she's got such a strong following of young people who 7 years and 5 CDs later are still fans.
Yo creo que la gente joven está buscando algo que le dé sentido a su vida y yo creo que Jesús es una muy buena opción. Al cantar, tú como que la cantas, la sientes, se la dices a Dios o Dios te la dice a ti. Yo creo que la gente, por eso un poco la gente joven que busca también momentos no solo de baile, sino de reflexión, le va bien también la hermana Glenda. ¿Por qué no?
Hermana Glenda, and for more on her life and music, you can just head over to our blog. That's netny.net/currents and click on Riding the Wave. Love her.
I love it. She's great. She's very good, and always a smile on her face.
Very authentic in terms of what her message is, but also she does have a lovely voice, regardless of whether or not she was trained formally. She said she's not a singer.
Well, stay tuned. Much more Currents straight ahead.
Coming up, a dash of salt, a pinch of garlic, and that Lino Rulli wit.
You know, I don't know if it's a great idea to put your hand above a thing of boiling water.
Welcome back. Well, over the years, there's been a very long line of respectable television cooks. Right now, there's a big movie about Julia Child out there.
Right, Julie and Julia. There's also, I mean, you know, you think, I remember the tease that you did to start the show. Bam, you know, the whole Emeril Lagasse thing. He was just a sensation, and still is to a certain extent.
And a lot of them live here right in New York, like Mario Batali and Babo and all these things.
Exactly. One of my favorites is Alton Brown, who kind of is a little bit more scientific in the way he looks at food, too. So he's very good. But maybe, you know, we could add Lino Rulli to that list.
Maybe not.
Maybe. But we've been showing you some segments of Generation Cross. That's a show that Lino hosted in Minnesota.
Well, he and Father John Forliti previously cooked up some fettuccine alla whiskey, and as you may remember, he kind of spit that one out. He didn't like it, so let's see what's on the menu for today. Hopefully it's a little better.
Let's cook.
Now, what are we going to make?
Polenta.
People probably never heard of it.
Polenta.
Well, they've heard it
cornmeal.
2 times, but
Okay.
It's cornmeal. It's a little more than cornmeal.
It's served up in a lot of different ways now in fancy restaurants.
Okay.
But back in the olden days,
These your days?
During World War II.
Really?
When times were tough and we didn't have a lot of money, we would have polenta often.
What do we do?
We're going to heat the oil first.
That's it?
Amazing, isn't it?
It occurred to you we could have done that before we started shooting.
We could have.
Wait.
This is sausage.
Of course it's sausage.
You know where it's from?
Italy. Or you mean where actually the sausage comes from the animal?
No, this is...
That's what I didn't want you to go that direction either.
Sausage from Delmonico's.
That's right. And why do you bring that up, Father John?
Because they give me free food when I go over there.
That's right. That's great.
So we're going to cook this up good.
No, what is this that you're adding?
This is the same sausage, only links. You'll see what we're going to do with these later.
It's a lot of sausage.
This is the same. Yeah, it is. Okay, we're going to turn these over a little bit.
All right.
Cook them. They're actually going to cook in the sauce for about 20 minutes. Would you like to cut one of these up? Small pieces.
Okay, what do you call small? That's small? That's actually kind of small for me.
Well, that's a little different than I would do it, but
you're
doing beautifully.
Well, not everybody may have your skill.
You are doing beautifully.
Is that good enough?
Okay, well, you do your part.
That's starting to spark up on me. Why isn't it burning you?
Because it likes you. It likes you. It's because
not...
I don't notice it. Okay. I have a high tolerance for pain.
That's why you're on this show.
Which is why you and I get along so well.
That's right.
Now we'll just add the garlic. You don't mind if I cut it for you?
No. What's this here?
That is pepperoncino.
Pepperoncino. That's going to be hot, right?
That is very hot.
Really hot. You're talking literally just a pinch.
This is like cayenne, so we're not going to add a whole lot of that in here. Now the sausage is getting there.
How can you tell when it's cooked? Does the skin melt away?
No.
No.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, no.
It doesn't melt away.
Should it be amazing?
I think it's amazing.
Okay. I think it is amazing. This looks like one just big mess.
It does. But it's going to be beautiful. And we're going to add a little wine.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to cook the polenta while the sauce is stewing. This is cornmeal.
Okay.
And this is 1 cup of water. Pour it in here.
Okay.
Slowly. Because we don't want it to lump.
Is that too slow? Is that too fast?
That's fine.
Okay.
Maybe a little faster.
Yeah. Could you not put your finger in the food?
Not a little faster. I have clean hands.
All right. Well, I can just dump it in, you know.
No, I know you can, but don't.
Okay. We just don't want it to bulk up?
Well, it's easier. It's better this way. You get fewer lumps.
Okay.
If you get any lumps.
Nothing worse than lumpy polenta.
Oh, you hate lumpy.
You ever grow up with a guy? That sounds like a guy you could have grown up with. Lumpy polenta.
Lumpy polenta.
This really isn't a two-man job, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? You think it's a two-person job?
Look at that. Yeah,
okay.
it is. And then we'll have you pour this in. Pour it in slowly.
Okay.
And as you pour it in, stir it.
Good. Did you mind me
Don't pour it down there.
Okay, I didn't mean to. Well, it's a little bit hot.
Get lower.
You know, I don't know if it's a great idea to put your hand above a thing of boiling water. Have you ever thought about that?
Let's go over here.
Okay.
Quit complaining and
what
do
is
the
this?
work.
Do you want it to look like this?
Yeah, put it in.
Looks kind of nasty.
Not exactly the way I would do it, but hey, this is going to be special.
All right.
We got to stir it here so it evens out. And you'll just have to keep stirring that, Lino, until it's done.
What do you mean until it's done?
Well, until it's good and stiff.
What is
Probably 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. Won't be long.
All right.
We want to pour it on here so it's
All
a
right,
nice...
want me to pour it on. All right. That looks horrible.
Wait a minute. Don't go back anymore.
All right. I wish you could go back and change this recipe. Is this what it looks like? Is this what it's supposed to look like?
That's what it looks like.
All right.
So far.
So if the family members are disappointed so far, apparently it's going to get better?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Get
Are we
rid of the
ready?
pan. Get
That's
rid of the
done.
pan.
Now you're going to get the sauce.
Bring it over a little bit.
It looks like an omelet.
Well, we don't need it all.
Okay.
We've probably got more here.
We made too much?
We got more here than we need.
What could you do with this?
Well, what you could do is actually use 2 cups. Do twice as much polenta.
Well,
then
okay.
you'll have some for tomorrow. We'll put 2 sausages here.
Why is that?
Okay, because 1 for you and 1 for me.
All right. So that's done.
Oh, that looks terrific. Mamma mia.
Does that look good?
Yep.
All right, the Parmesan cheese, because that kills taste. Right?
You put Parmesan in everything because it kills taste.
But this is actually all it's going to look like.
This is what it looks like.
This is it.
Now we have one more thing.
What's that?
A little bit of this.
Ah, yes, good wine. We have good wine. Give it a shot. That's pretty good. It's like, what's it like?
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, no, I think if you're in World War II, if you're fighting a war, this is the meal for you.
This is good.
Yep, it's just like the army. Buon appetito.
Buon appetito con vino.
A wine? Oh,
Let's
that's
do that again.
Why?
Wonderful.
It's like the bells in church.
You know, they told me before we saw this that, Lino actually likes this one.
Yeah.
So I was expecting a little bit more resounding, you know, approval. But
he likes it. Nobody doesn't like polenta. It's great. I mean, really, if you've ever had it, have you ever had it?
I've never had it.
It's just cornmeal, really. I mean, you just stir it, you wait for it to firm up like he showed you, and then, you know, you can do it different ways. But it's true, it costs about 5 cents to buy, and they charge about $50 in the fancy restaurants here.
Right.
So all the smart Italians know, just make it at home.
Right. Well, as I said before, wrong time to go on a diet.
Yeah. All right, poor Matt. He and the Slim Fast.
Oh, well.
Stay tuned. When Currents returns, it's heating up out there. We'll find out how you're spending your summer.
Well, finally tonight, we are a couple of months into the summer, and if you've been outside, you know it's really heating up out there.
Very humid out there, and just in time for Brooklynites to maybe take a vacation. We wanted to find out what you've got planned.
Yeah, so we actually went to South Brooklyn and asked churchgoers, are you having a vacation this year or a staycation?
I may go with the car somewhere, but I'm not going anywhere too far because the economy and because I don't really make plans this year.
And I'm going on a retreat. Well, it's like a retreat. I'm going defending the faith in Steubenville, Ohio.
I'm not actually going on a vacation, but I'm going on some religious retreats just to, you know, brighten up my summer and make it useful. I'm going on a service retreat to just do service for 9 days.
We're doing a short trip to South Carolina to see his great-grandmother. So this will be the first time he gets to see her. So other than that, we're staying home and saving money. No big trips to Disney this year.
I'm going to take a cruise down from Miami to the Jamaica, Mexico, the Keys. It's going to be fun.
I actually am away for the summer. I'm from California, and I'm here visiting all my family. So I think that if you're out doing it for a good cause, spending time with your family, then yes, I say go out and do the right thing. But if you're out there just spending frivolously, then no.
Well, I have a beautiful camper in God's country up in the country, and that's where I will go.
We're going to stay home to save some money.
I mean, we're doing pretty much the same stuff that we've done in the past. Even though I have talked to my wife about, you know, we have to watch the expenses.
There are so many things that you can do in the city, you know, that is just, you know, a lot of things going on. You can be like on vacation here.
I think I'm going to stay close to home to save some money. I think everybody's feeling the pinch, and I think this is a way of teaching us to spend quality time with our families.
But we work too hard to give up maybe the one vacation, you know, so you save a little harder and you make it, and you go on this vacation that everyone deserves who works so hard all throughout the year. So no, you know, we're definitely planning on going away as we do every year to our lovely Puerto Rico and spend a few days there. But yes, and we always try to make it a family outing. So yeah, we won't give up our vacations.
Well, it seems like everybody's pretty much going somewhere if it's not too far away, but there are those, of course, who are staying home because times are tight.
Yeah, then there's so much to do in a place like New York that you can enjoy the outdoors and find some free things to do if you don't want to get on a plane and spend the Disney vacation kind of dollars and that kind of thing.
Head out to a local park, you know, take a weekend trip somewhere. I mean, you know, there are so many places that you can go that are, if you want to get away from the actual city itself, you know, head out to Long Island or a little bit farther upstate or something. It's all right here.
Yeah, and if you want to just go and stay cool, you can always hit a museum or whatnot. A lot of times, I think during the week they offer some free nights and whatnot. So.
Right. And a great and very special thank you to all those who gave us your opinions and told us what you were doing for the summer. And we do want to thank all of you in another way by taking you out to the ball game. We've got some tickets to give away to next Tuesday's Brooklyn Cyclones game. They'll be playing the Vermont Lake Monsters.
I love that name. It's very easy to win. All you have to do is go to our website, that's netny.net, and click on the Cyclones ad. You can follow the directions, and then good luck to everybody about that.
All right, and you know, you were scheduled to actually do the first pitch. You're going to be doing it again. We're scheduled to do this again, so hopefully, please Lord, the rain will hold off. Francesca will actually have a ball in her hand, and it will leave her hand, and someone will catch it.
I've heard
That's all we're hoping for.
You have to release it sort of near where your head is and just sort of use your first three fingers. That's what I'm told anyway.
Well, okay, if that's what you're told.
Jason's going to bring his glove in the, so we can practice a little bit because
Okay.
I need it.
Well, everyone please move your cars from anywhere near the station.
All right. Well, that is all for this edition of Currents. Coming up tomorrow, how has the bad economy hit Brooklyn? We'll hear from the director of a local food pantry.
And remember, you can always see us online. Head on over to netny.net/currents.
And you can follow us on Twitter, Tweeple. So go to twitter.com/currentsny.
That's the first time I've heard Tweeple.
Tweeple.
Well, thank you so much for watching. For all of us here at Currents, I'm Matt McClure.
And I'm Francesca Maxime. Have a great night.